I grew up in an artistic family, and so as I was growing up, the studio was always the biggest and best room in the house. So that was kind of my roots. I got a job at Selkirk College when I was 26 years old. I'd had 2 children by then, and so I worked in the library at Selkirk College for 32 years. When I started approaching the age of 60, I kind of felt like that course had run as far as it was going to run, and it was like, okay, what else am I going to do with my life? And over the years I had done some pottery, and I had done some weaving, and I had in the last few years gotten very much into beading. And I found that I wasn't really satisfied with the way that I was finishing off my beaded pieces, and so at some point I thought, well, I should take some metalworking so I could make findings and finish these pieces off in a nice way. And so I decided that I would go to the Kootenai School of Art, which was like doing a full circle in some ways, because when I was a grade 12 student in Nelson, I was actually given special permission to do my double block art class at KSA. So it was, going back to KSA all these years later, it felt like completing a circle. And KSA has an amazing jewelry program. I think all the programs actually are absolutely top-notch. They have great instructors. And I found a whole new passion. It was like when I started working with metal, silver, and it was like being an alchemist, you know, working with heat and melting and working with, you know, with the different metals. So it just became totally absorbing. And it was, okay, this is my new career. I think I've been pretty productive since I finished school in April, because I basically had to build an inventory. So I have an inventory of pieces at Avenues Hairdressing in Castlegar. I have an inventory of pieces at the Sculpture Walk Studio, and I have an inventory of pieces at the Kootenai Gallery. And now my thoughts, I'm thinking about spring, so I'm thinking about floral designs and bright colors, and so really this is my time to get busy. I get most of my inspiration from nature and natural forms, and the same with the colors, and it was that way with beadwork. I would always like to select my beads in daylight, because that's when you get the true kind of color. What I'd like to do is go through the steps to make a silver bead. So I would start with a piece of silver sheet like this, and this, so I start by cutting. And I actually use the saw because shears tend to twist the silver, and that means everything that's twisted has to be straightened again afterwards. There we go. Just plain silver is not so exciting, so I'm actually going to put it through a rolling mill with a pattern plate. And I have a number of these plates with different designs on them. And voila! We have a nice pattern on that piece of silver now. The next step is then to punch out some circles. It's nice to get it on the first tap. The next step is to dome these, and for that I use my doming blocks on a wooden punch, my leather mallet. The trick is to get these domed but not lose all the pattern on it. So the next step is to prepare them for soldering. So it's a matter of sanding them so they have a flat edge. I can't actually solder these closed unless I leave a small hole for the air to get out. So I'm just going to file a spot, which eventually is where a wire will go through to make a loop. So over to the soldering station. Saw a bit of flux. This is lots of fun, just watching for that magic moment when you get that little flash of the solder melting and it becomes one piece. You can see that's one piece. With this, it's very rewarding to be working with my hands and seeing, a physical product that I can feel good about, and that hopefully somebody else will feel good enough about to want to buy it and wear it.